Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Chandra Sekhar Bijibilla from Coding Tutor. As part of React.js training tutorials, today we are going to focusing components. What is components? Component is a piece of code in the user interface. Okay, we are going to see what are the different types of components are available one by one. Practically we are going to implementing. Okay, so component based architecture only React is working in the React.js features level also we are already mentioned, right? So that component based architecture level you need to understand what are the different types of components are available. Okay, so basically React.js level, high level, there is a two different types of components are available. One is functional components and another one is class component. So most of the recent React.js applications level, people are going to using functional component. Up to 16.8 version before, people are going to using class components. Who are good at the object-oriented programming, those people are going to working on class component. Who are coming from functional programming, JavaScript-based functionalities, those people are focusing on functional component. Anyhow, backward compatibility is there. Even class component is also, it is going to working fine. Okay, so we are going to see both the functional component and class component, how it is going to working, how to use those kind of things we are going to focusing. Especially class component, ES6 class syntax used to define a component. So in this particular class component level, state is there. State is just like you are going to define any kind of object, any kind of variable we can able to define. How to define the class component as well as functional component we are going to see. And one more thing is class component level, some of the methods are available. Those methods automatically it is going to execute it. So those methods we can call as the life cycle methods. Whereas functional component level also functions we are going to call in automatically. Those functions we can call as the hooks. Okay, so this kind of terminology also you people need to understand. This is the simple class component structure, but here constructor is also there. If you want to bind any kind of variable values, you can use constructor. Otherwise you can use directly state also. State is just like an object. We are going to using this one and we can develop the application. Instead of going to developing the application from the scratch, okay, I will give the steps. But previous session level, whatever the welcome app we are created, within that I'm going to create in the class component. Okay, so that time saving and you can able to quickly practice also, right? So I'm going to give you the steps first. I'm opening the notepad. I'm going to using these kind of steps you can note down and practice. Okay, so that is the purpose. I'm opening here notepad. This notepad level we are going to see React.js components example. Okay, this is the heading. So in this particular application level, what is the step number one? We are already observed previous session, previous videos also. If you are anyone is missing those kind of videos, please go through that one. Or else if you want to get more hands-on experience, real-time project experience, right, please contact Coding Tutor so that you can get the more hands-on. If you want to join internship also, this is the best way to step into the software industry. So please contact Coding Tutor. Okay, so here first step is what? Create a React.js project. How to create React.js project? What the command we have used previously, npx create -react -app. Here we need to provide the app name. Previously I'm created these steps. I'm not at all straight away right now. I'm not at all implementing right now. Why? Because time saving purpose. But existing application level, I'm going to creating a new component. So these steps are your understanding purpose, your practicing purpose. Okay, npx space create -react -app. Here we need to provide the app name. For example, welcome app. Okay, So step number 2, what is the step number 2? Switch to the project location. Switch to the project location. How to switch? You need to use cd space change directory, right? Welcome app. So step number 3. What is the step number 3? We need to open the project structure into the VS Code. Okay. So how to open? We open the project. Open the project into VS Code. So here, welcome app. This is the command prompt. You can see here. You can use the command is code space dot. Automatically, you can see project structure. Okay. Step number 4. This step onwards, I'm going to creating existing application level. Okay. So create a welcome component within src components folder. We already discussed previous session level React.js folder structure, right? Node underscore module, public folder, src, and 4 files are created, right? So you need to create a source level one folder to organizing a project level different kind of components. People are going to creating the component folder in the src. I'm showing that one. This is my previous session level created welcome app. I'm opening this one into the VS Code. How to open? Open CMD here. After that, you need to use code space dot. It is open in the VS Code. Okay. So once it is open in the VS Code, you can see the structure. This is the structure, right? Previously we are observed. This is the structure. Within that src level, I'm going to creating one folder to organizing the components. We are going to creating separate kind of folders, right? So here I'm going to using components. This is the folder. Within this folder, I'm creating welcome.js. Here we need to create a component. There is a two types of components. Just now we are discussing, right? There is a two types of components are available. We are going to using class component first. So how to create a class component? I'm going to using here class component name is welcome extends react. So we are going to using import statement also. Whenever we are going to using import statement, we can write like this. Automatically shortcuts also available. We are going to see those kind of shortcuts a little bit later. Okay. Import react. Here we need to write a component, react component. So we need to use here react also. So this is the remove this one. Here we need to write react. Okay. So this is the import statement. So once you are writing this one, here we need to define the state. Class component level, structure level, you can see in the slides also, there is a constructor is also available. But in this example, I am not at all using constructor. Directly, I am using the state object. How to define the state? State is nothing but an object. So that there is an object. How to define the JavaScript within the flower bracket, right? So I'm going to using here count value with 0. So this is the way I'm going to define the state. Please observe this one slide. This is the constructor. I'm not at all using the constructor. Simply, directly, I'm going to specify the state. State equal to within the flower bracket count value I'm defined. Okay. Now, how to design this one? This is state. Okay. How to design this one? User interface. How to design? So I'm going to using here. I'm going to using here return. Generally, functional component level directly we are going to return, but we are going to using class component. That there is a render method we are going to using. Within the render method level return, we are using the div root element. Within that, we are going to display one heading. Okay, so class component or class component example. Class component example. So after that, I want to display the counter value. Whatever the count value be there, that state value, whatever you are going to define, that value I need to define, right? So that is the purpose paragraph I'm going to using. I'm using here paragraph. Within that count value I need to define. How to define? See the syntax. What is the syntax we are going to using? We are going to using, if you want to display object type, right? So flower bracket, this dot state dot count we are going to using. This dot state dot count. Suppose if I'm going to define here 100 value we are going to see. 1000 value we are going to see. So this is the way we are going to declare class component. This component, if I want to use in the my root component, right? If I want to use that one, we need to export this one. Whenever you are going to exporting, you can able to import. So that's the reason what I need to do here. I need to provide export. So where I need to define, see the syntax at the end of the functionality, we need to use export default component name. Here export default component name is what? Welcome. So this is the way we are going to define what? Class component. This class component is working fine or not? I need to test, right? How to test this one? So this is the, for your reference, I'm going to copy paste in the steps level. Okay. Step number 5, to test this component, call this component into root component. What is the root component? app.js, right? So I need to open the app.js. I need to go to the app.js. Here I don't want to use this welcome message. I need to call welcome component. Welcome component. Whenever you are using export to default welcome, then only you can able to see like this. Otherwise it is not able to import here. Okay. So once you are going to press enter, automatically it is going to add the import statement. Okay. Automatically it is going to add the import statement. So this is the way you can test this class component is working fine or not. Okay. So meanwhile what I'm doing, I'm going to test this one. How to test? If you want to test this one, in the command prompt level, npm start. Okay, that command also, that step also I'm going to providing here. Okay, I'm going to providing here. Step number 6. What is the step number 6? To run the application. Use the following command. What is the command? So welcome app command prompt level npm start. So this is the one you need to use. So whenever I'm going to using this one, what is happening? It is checking node underscore modules. Basic libraries are installed or not. It is checking. Once it is verified, it is going to creating a React.js server with port number 3000. Once it is started this one, automatically browser is opening localhost colon 3000, and you can able to see app.js level code. App.js level, what it is there? Welcome app, right? What is there? Welcome app. Welcome component level, what kind of information is there? Heading is there, and count value we are going to display, right? So this is the way we are going to test the application. It is going to checking node modules first. Once it is verified, it is going to start the React.js server. Meanwhile, I'm going to providing some more steps, right? Because we need to see functional component also, right? Components are two types. One is class component, another one is functional component. Just now we are added only class component, right? So how to define in the functional component also we need to see. That is the purpose. Once verified, we need to go to the again src components folder. Within that, we are going to creating one more functional component. Okay, so I'm going to mention meanwhile why, because that process is going on. Once it is running, we can add the code also. Meanwhile, step 7, create a calculate component within src components folder. Okay, so how to create a function component also we are going to see. And one more easiest way, if you want to create a components, okay, you need to install one extension. So how to install the extension? See this one in the VS Code level, you can see extensions icon is available, right? If you are going to click this one, in the search box level, you can set ES7 React Redux GraphQL React Native snippet kind of extension is available. If you are going to click this one, here you can able to see the install. In my VS Code level already installed. That's the reason it is showing uninstall. But in our case, you can see here install. Once you are going to click this one and restart the IDE perfectly it is going to working. Perfectly, shortcuts are working. So you no need to type manually. With the help of shortcuts, quickly you can able to create the components. Okay. So already server is starting. Once server is starting, it is going to display here browser level. It is going to display the component level, whatever the information, whatever the JSX kind of code is available, JavaScript, XML code, whatever it is mentioned, that one it is going to display. Okay. Once it is display, we need to check any kind of errors are there. How to resolve those kind of errors. Everything is fine. We are go to the one more component. That component is functional component. We are going to concentrating. Okay. So it is going to start the development server. Meanwhile, again I'm repeating how to get this one. Click extensions and set ES7 React. This is the extension. In our case, you can see here install kind of button. Why it is showing uninstall? In my VS Code level already it is installed. That is the reason. Click this one. After that, restart your VS Code better. Even it is going to working fine without restart also. Once it is done, you can able to use the shortcuts. If you want to know the shortcuts also, you can able to see the shortcuts also here. You can scroll down, see here. These are all shortcuts only. If you want to spend a little bit of time, you can go through this each and every. See this one, RCE. We can use like this components. React class export. Okay, this is the props. With props you can create the class component. Okay, so this is the way you can create different kind of things. Even functional component also shortcut is available. So you need to practice much more, then you can able to familiarize all these kind of shortcuts. You can use very easily. Okay, so what happens, see here, we are going to see so component is defined, but never we are not at all using it anywhere like that. It is going to mention. So what I need to do, I'm showing here, right, shortcuts also, code level shortcuts also I'm showing, right. So if we know any kind of for example, how it is going to using, right, here class file extended component, right, different kind of examples you can try to understand here. Okay, class extends component, you need to use what, extends keyword. Where I need to use, here we need to use extends. Here we need to use extends component, not for the React. We need to use component. I'm going to remove this one and paste it. So save this one, then go to here successful and go to see this one, class component, right. It is working fine, right. So this is the way class component is working. Okay, I'm going to using functional component right now. How I'm going to use in the shortcuts, please observe this one. So I'm going to creating here calculation.js, right? So create a file calculation.js. Here, what is the shortcut? RAFCE. RAFCE. Whenever I'm going to press enter, it is going to get automatically. Here, how to define the state? Class component level state is an object. But here, how to define? For example, constant. Here, I'm going to define name, comma, set name, and you need to define the default value. So how to define the default value? We need to use state. We can use state and specify here coding tutor. This is the way we need to initialize variable value. Okay. So how to get those values? Here we need to provide h1 tag. Welcome to coding tutor. How to get that coding tutor value? We need to use flower bracket and a name. So whenever I'm going to call this calculation.js into the root app, it is going to add the dynamically coding tutor value here and display welcome to coding tutor. Okay. Go to the app.js. After this component, I'm going to using here calculation component. Okay. So once it is added, I'm not at all stop the application and restart the application, right? It is still running. Still it is running. Okay. Now go to here browser, see welcome to coding tutor. Okay. So in this particular video session level, we are focusing components. Again, I'm repeating, component is nothing but a piece of code in the user interface. Okay. So that components are, there is a two types, class component and functional component. Class component level, if you want to maintain any kind of variable values, we need to use state. State is an object. How to define? We need to define like this. State equal to flower bracket level count key value pair like this. Okay. So this is the way we need to define. How to access this variable value? We need to use this object, right? Current, this is referred to this object. Okay. This dot state dot count. This is the way we are going to accessing. We are going to observe some more kind of variables, how to define boolean type of variable, string type of variable, number type of variable, how to define the object, how to define the array. We are going to focus in that one. In this particular video, main aim is you need to understand how to create a components. What are the different types of components? How to access that component level state value. That is the only you need to focus and practice. Okay. So here already mentioned the steps, right? Create a calculate component with src component folder. So whatever the code I'm developed, right, with the help of shortcuts, that code I'm going to copy paste. Okay. So once you are done, next update the app.js. Step number 8, update root component. Root component. What is the root component? App.js. So here very less theory part, right? Theory is very less and more hands-on, quickly understanding purpose. Simple examples I'm using and try to explaining here. If you want to get more hands-on experience and real-time kind of project, if you want to step into the software industry, you need to take internship. Okay, so that is the best way to enter into the software industry. So for that purpose, more details if you want to get, please contact Coding Tutor. Okay, so once you are update the root component, how to update the root component? See, go to the app.js. So this is the one, right? Just I'm going to copy paste this one. These steps, if you are going to following, you can get React, how it is going to working, React level each and every component, similar kind of way we are going to learn. Okay, so see you next video. Next video level we are going to focusing what is state, what is the props, and how to define the different kind of variables or data types, how to use. We are going to see that one. Until see you. Thank you. Bye bye.